Hey, what's up guys, Mashine here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about the broken Fang case. It's something I haven't talked about in a while, and I realize a lot of you guys are asking for an update on it. As we're pushing to the end of our operation here, things may have been a little bit different now than they were in the beginning. Before we hop on into it, only a small percentage of you guys who watch the videos are actually subscribed. Discord's the top link in the description, let's hop on into it. For me, I'm kind of in between because I can definitely see where the case could go up in the future, and I definitely can see when it would go down in the future. Starting here with where it could go down and what I see happening. So with anything, when there's an exclusive item, it is discontinued as we expect it to be, which I feel like there's almost 100% chance the case will be discontinued. But if it's discontinued, we're likely to see these gloves pop up again somewhere else. And that's going to be the same boat Shattered Web cases we're in. After the operation, it was discontinued and there was a little more uncertainty there, but now we kind of expect that it will probably come up in a later case, probably around the summer months in the USA or in North America. It is expected that we'll get a new case and it'll most likely follow that same pattern. This is where I run into a predicament, because if we look at Shattered Web, we can see there was obviously some big ups and some big downs, but the price has just not been able to recover even though there's zero new cases being added to the market. I think it's very tough to say that we are going to for sure know if the broken Fang case will go up or down, but I feel like most people are tending to lean towards it'll go down based off Shattered Web. I think when you're looking at it going down, it's much easier to see because we saw Shattered Web go down and that was 8 cases for 100 stars. Now you're eligible to get 50 cases from 100 stars, and you're pretty much encouraged to go that route because you're able to sell them on the market for right around 80-ish cents. With 80 cents, you're getting about 70-ish back, and you're going to be making about a 20-ish, 18-ish dollar profit after Steam taxes and all that just by doing the missions. Now this is very unlike Valve to have this almost infinite money generator almost in the game. Now it does take a lot of time to do the missions, and that's something I will 100% bet goes into their calculation, but I can see that there is still some money left on the table if you're willing to grind out these missions, or if you live in a country where there's just not a lot of job potential. Just looking at how many cases are on the market, you can just see the mass amount that we have of this case. And even with people stockpiling them up, we're still going to see a case that struggles to go up in price for the future. Looking at the broken Fang case, I see a lot of potential for it to go down in the future just based off so many past trends we've looked at. But the thing is, we're not always in that past trends, and sometimes it's hard to differentiate between now and these past trends, because with CSGO investing, it's relying a lot on past trends, but as we saw in the past, things were completely different. You saw these cases that were in the non-prime drop pool that still went for 3 cents days and years almost after they were put into the non-prime drop pool. And we've seen things today where our cases in the prime drop pool are not even at 3 cents, they're not even at 5 cents. They're at 6-ish cents and above, which is something that's completely crazy to see us go. If you looked at past trends, almost any case, like the breakout case, it's just got a long stretch in there when it was 3 cents, but today we don't have that at all for any case. Moving on into the good for the broken Fang case, I could definitely see it going up as well. I think there's a lot of potential looking at those coverts. You've got the M4A1S print stream, which if the print stream is able to get a buff and become slightly better than the M4, I think we could definitely see prices skyrocket for that. It's one of the most desirable M4A1S skins in my opinion. It's fallen behind a couple like the Hot Rod and the Icarus Fell are two to me that look better. But factory new right now is going for $280, but field tested is still going for $80. So there's still a pretty nice market for this skin, and people are still buying these up pretty quickly. Another thing is those rare gloves. Now the gloves, in my opinion, are almost guaranteed to come back in a different case. It's very similar to the Shattered Web knives, and I think it's going to be a dumb decision if you try to argue that they won't come back, especially if the case is discontinued, which it most likely will be. A case where people pretty much had to pay money to get makes 0 sense for them to put into the prime drop pool or even the non-prime drop pool. It's not something they did with Shattered Web because they wanted to keep that case kind of under control and keep the quantity decently low. See, with Broken Fang here, I think it's trying to keep the quantity a little bit higher, but at the same time keep it under control. They don't need it going out of control like they have for some of their cases in the prime drop pool. If you guys have watched my channel for a while, you know there's the CSGO spreadsheet I like to mention a lot, and it's where you can see pretty much the return on investment if you were to open cases. Now the maximum right now is the CSGO Weapon Case 3 at 82%. Now 82% is pretty high, and most of the cases that have been released recently, even back to the Chroma 3 case to now, other than one, all of them have within about a 66% to maybe 45-ish%. And that one outlier is the Operation Broken Fang case, coming in at about 72%, and that's with the case price being 77 cents. So it's just slightly above that, and that's pretty significant because that's 5% higher than any of the recent cases that have been released. Now there's one main outlier that puts this price just so much higher than other ones, and that's this rare special item. These gloves have extremely high price points and people are paying extremely high prices for almost all of them. The coverts is right in line as about $60, is a little bit higher than the average, but we can see some cases like the fracture case right around similar. But the pinks once again are slightly higher with looking at some of the other cases, and the purples and blues roughly about the same. Overall, my prediction for the Operation Broken Fang case is that it has a lot of chance to go up and a pretty big chance to go down as well. I think it's probably going to do both. My prediction is it's going to follow Shattered Web trends. When the case and the operation are done dropping, the price is going to go up pretty significantly like we saw with Shattered Web, because there's going to be a complete investment spree. I don't think it's going to be as significant as with Shattered Web because that price went up by 50%. I think here we're looking at probably 25-ish% because there's so many of these available, and people who want this case have already stocked up on it, and I think that it being discontinued isn't going to affect them much. But I think your average investor who isn't too deeply involved in Broken Fang and just wants to pick up some more of these because they think the price is going to go up because it's a discontinued item, which eventually it theoretically has to if there's fewer and fewer of these every day and people are continuing to open them, the price will one day go up. But the thing is that one day may be years and years and years away. We've seen Shattered Web struggle, and I personally think Shattered Web has a pretty nice future ahead of it now that it's gotten through that struggle. But this Operation Broken Fang case is almost 10 times worse because there's almost 10 times more of these available to the people who are investing. But that's all I have for today, guys. I hope you have all enjoyed. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.